So today I'm going to be taking a look at a movie projector. It's not an heirloom. I just got it at an estate sale. It was the last hour of the last day, and I think it worked out to like 12 bucks or something. It's labeled a 1921. So I mean, for 12 bucks, I gotta just take that home, save this fella. It'd be neat to see if it just fires right up. It came with some movies as well, so that's worth 12 buck experience. I don't think I'm gonna get into this as a new type of collection, but I haven't even really opened it. But I think it's all there because this thing is 50 or 60 pounds. You definitely don't want to just trust the 100-year-old handle. So I'm just gonna start unboxing it, as I say. Okay. 1921 reel machine. What's up here? Okay, so we've got some of the arms that assemble into it. Okay, we've got a power cord. Yep. This is a speaker. Now I thought the talkies, this is about when movies started coming with sound. So it surprises me that a home product would already have speakers. I'm not sure how that even works on film. How do you get the sound encoded? There we are. Victor 16mm sound projector. But it's a lens and stuff, so it, okay, these will go to, these are what spin the reels. Let's see, are these identical? No. Who goes where? Still got the instructions. Well, I think I'm going to take some pictures of the model number, do some homework on it, see if somebody has it operating, and get back to you. All right, so I did a little bit of research. It's a Victor 6510, I believe, which would make it like 1954, which explains why there's some sound capabilities. I think it looks a little modern than 1921 to me. As I was carrying it out, there was a guy that had been thinking all day about getting it, and he said something like, I thought about getting it, but I plugged it in and it didn't do anything. So I'm expecting there's some sort of problem. But at this point, let's just plug it in and see if we can get it to do something other than catch the house on fire. Okay. Okay, so there's a EXC switch on off. So that's, I don't know what that, I think that's like the overall like on off switch. And nothing's happening. There's a rewind, still, lamp. Oh, look at that. Okay, so that's better than I thought. You probably can't see, but this one was working. This one wasn't doing anything. Also, I was wrong. It's already warm. I was wrong. These go on the other way, so that the circular thing connects to the spring here, and then the film will go here. I think maybe this one is just a function of needing some oil. There's an oil spot here. It sounded kind of squeaky. What I'm gonna do, so the problem I have is the 3 films that came with it, they're already on a roll, a reel. And so I don't wanna just take, I mean, theoretically I need a pickup reel. So I could take one and just dump it on the floor and use that reel and then assume that I could like spool that one back up somehow. But I can't imagine these reels, empty reels, are very much on eBay. So I think I'm gonna just kind of do a little more homework and get a reel on the way. All right, so it's been about a week, and I've got my reel. Before I just throw that in, I had a couple thoughts I've been thinking over the week. So I was confused that only one of these spring belts runs. That seemed like a red flag, but that may be the way it's supposed to operate, because the camera, the projector itself will grab the film and pull it through. So the supply reel doesn't necessarily need to be motorized, but then when it spits it out after it's shown the frame, it would just pile up on the table unless the receiving spool had some tension on it, some pull. So it may be that only the receiving spool needs to be motorized. But then why are there 2 springs? Perhaps that's if you do the reverse. But this is supposed to be the reverse cable. Goes up here also. Maybe this is like for like a reel-to-reel full speed rewind. And maybe these switch if you just like want to reverse it a little bit. I won't really know until I get a film loaded on here that I can do now with the blank reel and see what happens. Another thing that I discovered about these is, I was a little confused about the sound setup. Apparently, you've got the film and you've got the visual frame, and then off to the side of that is actually not a magnetic strip, but like just a visual representation of the sound waves that correspond to that scene. And so I think that the light going through that part of the frame is shuttled off to these tubes back here and somehow turned into sound, like just by how much light is coming through there gets interpreted into sound. So that is analog audio for sure, but that's kind of neat. I don't know if any of the 3 movies that came with this have sound or not, but you could, I guess, buy like a Star Trek movie for $3,000, and it would all be synced sound as it goes through. Before I set things up, I'm gonna blow the dust out a little bit, get the dust off the bulb, and then I'm gonna see if there's a fan for the bulb. Because if there is a fan for the bulb and if that fan is not working, this bulb will not last long. I tell you, as soon as this thing lights up, it's like just the whole area is hot. I've never had a space heater that just instantly warms an area like this thing. So I want to make sure that it doesn't have a gummed up fan, because now I'm $13 for the whole kit, another $13 for the spool, so I'm doing pretty good. These bulbs are like $80, so I don't want to burn that out if there's just a jammed up fan or something. So I'm gonna clean it up a little bit, and then we'll be ready to get everything in place and see what happens. All right, so I pulled out the reel I just bought, and it actually has some film on it, so I got to see what that movie is too. The neat thing about it is that I can see on the side of the image, it has all the noise imagery, so that'll be neat. But what I did right now is, instead of taking that off or being in the same situation where I've got full reels and no empty reel, I just taped this one to that one. We'll get it playing, and then eventually I'll be able to rewind it all the way and see what this is. All right, so I followed the diagram here, got everything through. It's quite a quite a process. A lot of little nice American, like clickety click sort of stuff. I'm gonna plug it in and see if we can figure it out. I see that there's a motor button and a lamp button, so maybe I'll be able to do the motorizing stuff without the lamp on. No real reason for that, I guess, but man, this is kind of unnerving. This lamp is like so hot and bright. If I can do this experimenting without cranking away on that, it'd be more comfortable. Okay. It has a safety feature thing, and apparently with it being the wrong way, that is what kicked in. Okay, we got tension going the wrong way. It clicks one of these and keeps it from eating up the video. Okay, so we reset that. Let's try it again. Okay, so neither of the motors was hooked up and this started moving. So that verifies that my theory that the mechanism can actually pull from that. And then I need this needs to be the motorized one. Okay. Let's see, can I rewind it? Didn't really do anything. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's a monkey. Well, how about that? This thing's gonna work. Okay, let me calm down here. Okay. Oh, by the way, there is a fan in here. In my looking for it, I couldn't find it. I was like, guess there's no fan. But then now I can actually, when the motor's running, I can feel the fan blowing up. So I'm glad it wasn't defective. All right, so I'm no expert, but we might be almost at the end of this story. I've rewound it, re-threaded the film through here, and I'm really curious to see if we can get the audio out of the tape that came with it. It's labeled Philadelphia School of Philadelphia Audio Visual Department, but it does have that sound thing. So I'm going to plug it in. Never leave something like this plugged in, generally speaking. Okay, so there's a switch over here, EXC, so exciter. So the exciter, okay, so that's a good sign. That is a separate light on the side of the film that glows through the visual representation of sound. And then it goes into the 3 or 4 tubes. You know, there's a lot of chance for failure there. I think there's a capacitor in there. Those are famously not long-lived. So, hey, we'll see if it works. Man, I'm sure if you do this twice a day, like you just get the hang of it. But man, it gives you respect for the teachers in the 50s and 60s, like to just slap this thing together. I think I've got it. You gotta have just the right amount of slack here. Okay. Dang it. I'll get back with you. All right, I ran it again. It was a little too tight down here. Well, there's also a switch here for silent or sound, so that's the sound now. I can feel the heat coming off the tubes. Let's try her again. Dang it! Boy, this is a real handful. Okay. We're getting video, but no sound. All right, so here's what we got now. A bunch of stuff on the floor. Something went wrong. All right, so I switched the reels because apparently I had inverted everything. So hopefully what we see is the last few seconds of a monkey movie that's upside down, and then it switches to the movie with sound. But I'm not hopeful. There's an upside down monkey. Now it's about to hit the splice to the other movie. This is the movie that should have sound. No sound. Well, we didn't get any sound out of that. There's definitely heat coming off from the tubes when I turn the exciter on, but Okay, so we see back here that all of the tubes are glowing. I would say, in my limited experience with tubes, it's like a light bulb. If it's burned out, it's burned out. Probably a small percentage of malfunctioning tubes would still glow. There's this thing is maybe a capacitor. That could be the villain. The speaker's plugged in, but I don't get any crackling or anything from the speaker. I may check just the wiring on this. All right, so I tested the speaker and I got sound out of it from somewhere else. The plug had a pretty good, like, sort of aluminum type of oxide on it. So just on a long shot, I polished that a little bit and then sprayed some contact cleaner on the projector end. And now I'm actually getting a full hum. And when I loaded the film, as it was getting under the exciter, you could hear crackling and stuff. So it seems like we have a continuity. Let's try it again. Whew, boy, I tell you. Oh, it's always something. Okay, let's try it again.
On rainfall. Remember that water makes land useful, or the lack of water makes it useless. All these things we must recall if we are to be effective readers of the story which maps tells.
All right, well, that's it. This thing works. There was really no problems other than me not knowing how to use it. And the rewind spring, I had to put the ends back together and polish the connection. Otherwise, we're good to go with sound. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is tonight, I'll project this on a wall and go through all the films, the 3 films, and film them. They're probably not copyrighted protected, and there's always a chance with something like this that you have the last copy of it. And I hate entropy, so I'd hate to just have that lost. So I'll get it up on YouTube if they tell me it's not copyrighted. And then there will be at least one copy of all these little movies for all time. Thanks for watching.